Before we begin this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because today's story will touch your heart and leave you speechless till the very end. Stay with me till the last second, because the twist in this emotional journey will remind you that life always has a way of turning tables. Rain softly drizzled outside the tall glass windows of the city's most expensive hotel. Inside, golden chandeliers sparkled over the decorated hall, where laughter and clinking glasses filled the air. It was the wedding of Daniel Hartman, a successful businessman in his early 30s. He stood tall, confident, in his tailored black tuxedo, flashing a perfect smile for the cameras. But behind that smile hid arrogance and revenge. Daniel had invited Clara, his ex-wife, to this wedding. Not out of courtesy, but out of cruelty. Once upon a time, they had shared dreams, laughter, and promises. But when Daniel lost his patience with the struggles of poverty, he divorced her. Clara, poor and heartbroken, had left quietly with nothing but a small suitcase and the unborn life inside her, something Daniel never even knew about. Tonight, he wanted to show her how far he'd come, and how far she'd fallen. As he looked around the hall, Daniel smirked and whispered to his best man, "I bet she won't even dare to show her face here. She probably can't afford a cab, let alone a dress for this wedding." The clock struck 7. The ceremony was moments away. Guests turned as a hush fell over the room. Outside, the sound of an engine drew near, but not just any engine. A sleek black limousine stopped in front of the entrance, gleaming under the evening lights. The door opened slowly. A tall, graceful woman stepped out, dressed in a silver gown that shimmered like moonlight. Her brown hair flowed in soft curls, her eyes calm yet piercing, a picture of quiet confidence. But what truly left everyone breathless were the 3 little children who followed her, identical triplets, around 5 years old, each holding her hand. The guests began whispering. Cameras turned. Even Daniel froze. It was Clara. The poor woman he'd abandoned. The woman he'd tried to humiliate. But she had arrived in a limousine, looking like royalty, and she wasn't alone. Years ago, Clara had loved Daniel more than her own life. They'd married young, with dreams larger than their means. She believed love could conquer poverty, but Daniel's patience had limits. Bills piled up, opportunities slipped away, and Daniel began to change. "I didn't marry you to live like this," he had shouted one night. "I deserve better, and you're holding me back." The next morning, she found the divorce papers on the table. Clara had cried for days. But then she discovered she was pregnant, not with 1 child, but 3. Alone, penniless, and heartbroken, she had every reason to give up. But she didn't. She worked day and night, cleaning houses, sewing clothes, and later, studying online at night after putting the babies to sleep. She believed that one day, her children would see her not as a victim, but as a fighter. Years passed. Her talent as a designer caught the attention of a small boutique owner, who later became her business partner. From there, Clara's career took off. By the time Daniel found success in business, Clara Hartman Designs was already one of the most sought-after fashion brands in the country. She had kept her success quiet, until now. At the wedding, Daniel stood speechless as Clara walked in with her head held high. His fiancée, Sophie, glanced at him, confused. "Daniel, who is she?" He swallowed hard. "That's my ex-wife." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Clara smiled politely, extending a hand. "Congratulations, Daniel. I wasn't sure I'd make it, but I didn't want to miss your big day." Her voice was calm, graceful, but there was something powerful beneath it. Daniel tried to hide his discomfort. "Well, I'm surprised you could afford the trip. Or that limo." Clara's smile didn't fade. She turned to her children, who stood proudly beside her in matching little suits and dresses. "Kids," she said softly, "meet your father." Every camera turned. Daniel's face went pale. Father? The room went silent. Sophie's eyes widened. You have children? Triplets, Clara said gently. Born a few months after you left. I thought about telling you, but you seemed busy building a better life. So I built one, too. Her words were calm, but they cut deep. Daniel stumbled back, his pride collapsing under the weight of reality. All the success, the wealth, the show, none of it could hide what he had lost. After the ceremony, Daniel found Clara outside near the garden, watching the children chase each other among the fairy lights. For a moment, the wind carried the soft laughter of their kids, the sound he'd never heard before. Clara, he said quietly, I didn't know about them. About you. She turned to him, her eyes soft but firm. You never asked, Daniel. You were too busy proving you were better without me. He lowered his head. I was wrong. Clara nodded slowly. Maybe. But everything happens for a reason. I learned that I didn't need someone to save me. I needed to save myself. She looked back at her children, smiling. And I did. Daniel's fiancée came looking for him, tension on her face. Clara stepped back, gave him one last look, and said, Good luck with your marriage, Daniel. I hope you find the happiness you once threw away. With that, she walked away, her children laughing, her limo waiting. Daniel stood there, watching the woman he'd once abandoned drive away, realizing he had invited her to humiliate her, but had only humiliated himself. As the limo disappeared into the night, the wedding lights seemed to fade. But somewhere else, beneath the same sky, a mother smiled proudly at her sleeping children, whispering, We did it. Because sometimes, life doesn't punish those who hurt you, it simply shows them what they lost. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one. Because in life, every ending isn't a heartbreak, sometimes, it's a rebirth.